Order beer, not wine. And beef, not chicken. Never light beer, though. And no tofu. Can't get more gay than tofu.
When you begin to interview them at 12 or 13, they tell you about a lot of love that they have for their friendships. They talk about wanting that kind of intimacy with other boys.
We don't talk about our feelings or not. It's a very macho culture.
I never saw my dad cry except for once in my life, but it freaked me out. I remember thinking that there was something wrong, like I felt like a machine had shut down.
You bury emotion as much as you can until you physically can't hold it anymore, and then you go somewhere privately and have yourself a little cry.
Steer clear of the arts unless you live on the coasts. That means no theater, dancing, painting, poetry, or prose.
Boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
Allegations regarding sexual assault and sexual harassment.
But she says
Women gesture more when they speak. They call this a limp wrist. When I was younger, I used to gesture a lot, so I learned to keep my hands in my pockets.
But back home, if somebody looks at you the wrong way or bumps into you the wrong way, you kind of have to do something about it because it's testing your manhood.
Don't back down from fights. Don't be afraid to pick fights.
There is a lot of violence where I'm from. I've had my nose broken 3 times.
When you feel threatened is when you bow up. It's when you try to get that swagger on that's just so bro-y and unrealistic.
If I could instill fear in others, then they would see me as a man.
Women listen to pop music. Men listen to rock. Women sing to the radio. Men nod along.
Friends are the things that kept me composed in the hardest times that I had.
As boys got older, they began to tell a very different story. They'll say things like, no homo, in response to a question about intimate friendships. That question to them has now become a gay question.
No homo was used a lot among my straight friends.
Because we don't want to seem as if we're being gay towards each other or saying gay terms.
That reveals the culture because the fact they're equating friendship with gayness is a part of American culture of masculinity. Somehow to be a boy, to grow into a man, you have to be emotionless.
Women wear bright colors like pink, yellow, and purple. Men wear dark shades of blue, brown, green, gray, and black. Women play woodwind or string instruments, like the violin or the flute. Men play brass or percussion. Women understand fashion, color, and design. Men are better at math, mechanics, and home repair.
In 2000, 20% of Americans reported feeling lonely. In 2010, that rate had grown to 37% for men.
The stereotype of being a man, he's supposed to be stronger than everyone. He's supposed to be the best.
So interestingly, the American Psychological Association, based on 40 years of research and 13 years developing these guidelines, has found that traditional masculinity isn't just bad for women, but also for men. So men die younger, they take more risks, they're more likely to be depressed and lonely as they get older.
How do you take a dog that's bred for 1,000 years to protect and to watch a family and tell him that's toxic? That's all his DNA knows.
The way that women have been approaching this type of issues with their body images, so now it's like our turn to get on the train and start questioning all of these standards that have been pushed upon us.
Women move their hips when they walk. Men move their shoulders. Women use exclamation points. Men use periods. Women sing, dance, and perform on stage. Men play sports. watch sports, and talk about sports.
Growing up, you always like question your masculinity.
I've definitely questioned my gender before.
I've always felt like a man, but not sure I've always been like a manly man.
I have been made to feel less than a man for a good chunk of my life.
I started really questioning whether I was or not.
I tried fantasy football. I'm bad at it, I hate it. But I felt like if I didn't participate in my school's fantasy football group that I wasn't a dude.
Women cook, men grill. Women second guess. Men go with their gut. Go big or go home.
Growing up a skinny kid, like definitely felt a little weaker.
As a short guy, everyone has remarked at how small I am.
I'm kind of skinny and lanky and awkward. If I could change the part of my body, I'd definitely add some muscle mass.
In order to survive, a chameleon will change color to blend in with its surroundings. At a young age, I began to closely observe the people around me. The way they talked, the way they walked, what they said, where it got them. Now, I am no longer a person, but a set of social cues. Not a person, but a path of least resistance.